The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish traveled the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you 3 are somewhere you shouldn't be.
Let us pass, Elf. You have no right to stop us.
No? We will see about that, won't we? You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethalon? What should we do with them? Does it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave.
Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
But I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though. There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go? Run along then, Shems. And don't come back until we Dalish have moved on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious. And if we find anything, the Keeper will want to know. This must be the cave. I don't recall seeing this before, do you? Always the careful one. Fine, but I'm not running back until I know there's something worth making a fuss over. Come on, let's at least see what's there. How dangerous could it be? Looks like the Shem was telling the truth. But these ruins look more human than elven. This place makes me nervous. I suppose so. Hey, weren't you supposed to be assisting Master Verathorn today? How did you end up coming with me? I thought that might be the case. I'm glad. Let's just find whatever's here and get out. We can talk later. This place makes me nervous. I'm not sure. This looks like a very old human place. Why would they build this? And why would elven artifacts be here? Maybe some of our ancestors lived here. In caves, like the dwarves. I'll stick to roaming the land myself. The Keeper said it took a long time for slavery to erase our ancestors' history. Maybe whoever lived here still wrote and spoke Elven. It does feel sinister here, doesn't it? Well, whatever it is, it won't stop me. A Dalish hunter fears nothing. I can't believe this. You recognize this statue, don't you? Back when our people lived in Arlathan, statues like these honored the creators. When the Shems enslaved us, much of that lore was lost. This looks like human architecture, with the statue of our people. Can these ruins date back to the time of Arlathan? I'd never have guessed ancient elves might have lived here, with humans. This place makes me nervous. I saw a picture of it in one of those old books the Keeper never lets anyone touch. It was one of the old gods. The Keeper called him a friend of the dead. He was a guide who took people across the Spirit Land to their final rest in the beyond. But he wasn't an evil god, not like Fen'Harol, the Great Wolf. It doesn't seem right that a place so wrong would be his. Aren't you curious? We could be discovering our history. Minstrels will write songs about us. If I were to bring some valuable ancestral artifact back to the Keeper, she might forgive me for... well, you know. Of course. You know I'd do anything for you. At any rate, I wasn't expecting this place to feel quite like this. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Are those walking corpses? This place is haunted. This place makes me nervous. Harren Pival once said that in places where many people died, it can become Seth and Aaron, a land of waking dreams. The veil becomes weak and spirits slip into our world. Then they possess corpses and walk around. No. This place must have been important for so many to have died here. I'm curious. Let's press on. I want to know how our people were involved with this. I'm no storyteller. All I remember of the Harren's tales is that a veil separates our world from the spirit world. He said that spirits are jealous of us, and always try to steal our souls. They want to be like us so badly, they'll even possess our dead, which drives them insane. But for them to enter our world, the veil must be weak. Is that why this place feels so strange? It does feel sinister here, doesn't it? Well, whatever it is, it won't stop me. A Dalish hunter fears nothing. Beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the writing says. Maybe, but she's not here to help us. Odd that it isn't broken like everything else. Especially with that bear lumbering around in here. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Hold on, I just want to know what it is. Don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
You're awake! You've the god's own luck, Lethalon. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel? We don't know. The Shem who brought you here saw no sign of him. I doubt you could have driven this one off. He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you. She wants to talk to you too. Stay here, I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dahlan. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive. If he encountered the same thing you did? Yes. The Grey Warden said he found you alone outside a cave, already stricken. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true? The Grey Wardens are an old and honorable order, Dahlan, and we Dalish have enough enemies. Was he correct? Like a man, but dark and tainted with evil. Perhaps you fought one in the cave and it wounded you. A mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlin remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for Darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlin as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dahlan? Without you, we will not find it. I am relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlin if you can, but do it swiftly. If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then Darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde. But that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest? Although you hurt no one, These humans roused their nearby village against us. As everywhere, our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must move on, quickly. Our clan could slaughter their entire village if we cared to, but at the cost of bringing their king's rage down on our heads. These people are simple and have simple fears. This is their land, so we will go peacefully. I would be lying if I said I was not. But whatever knowledge lies in that cave is not worth our children. I send you back with hopes of finding Tamlin, and that is all. Merrill knows a degree of my magic. Tamlin's chances of surviving the journey back are greater with her help. I also wish for Merrill to see this cave and mirror. She has a sense for these things, and could shed light on the nature of this illness. You recovered, and Merrill will too. Still, be careful. Should you come upon this strange mirror again, do not touch it. Go quickly, for Tamlin's life hangs in the balance.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlin? I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlin. Tamlin's my friend too. I want to help find him. If Meryl can risk it, so can I. Then ask her. I'll go with you and we'll ask her together. She can't say no to both of us. Good. Let's go talk to the Keeper.
I see you have not left with Merrill yet. Is there something you need? Fenarel? Are you certain? I'm already putting Merrill at risk. I don't want to lose you too.
I want to help, Keeper. If we can find Tamlin, it's worth the risk.
Very well, then. You have my permission. And thank you for asking for it.
So you have returned to us, Dalen. We are grateful you are whole and well.
So you should be. What were you two thinking, wandering into that cave without first coming to tell the Keeper? Once you saw what was inside, you should have returned. But you kept exploring, didn't you? I suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlin pays the price. Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalen. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember? Ah, the impatience of youth. Obviously, you do not remember why we struggle, or why that is important. Let us tell these children of the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling. I suppose Tamlin cannot wait for tales. Another time, then.
For a move so early, we were not expecting to leave for weeks.
Anithara, it's good to see you recovered. They fare well. The Keeper called for the clan to move on, and they will be ready to take us. One is heavy with calf, but it shouldn't be a problem. May I ask of Tamlin's fate? Some say the clan will leave before we find him. The Hala mourn our fallen. No sound is more heart-wrenching than their mourning cry. At least they won't be crying over you. They are quite fond of you. I admire them for their strength and pride. They are equals, not servants like the Shemlin horses. At any rate, I do not envy the Keeper's decision. I'll pray for Tamlin's safe return.
I'm glad you've recovered. Once we find Tamlin, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
One of my own crafting, perhaps? It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes? We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend, but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Of course. Take whatever you need.
Search parties have been looking for Tamlin since the Grey Warden brought you back. No luck so far.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. I can't help it, dear. I've raised you since your poor mother died. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead. That's awful. I know how much you and the lad care for each other. It was always my hope that you two... well, let's not dwell on it. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. It's true. Your mother was... well, let's not talk about that. I'm sure you have plenty on your mind. True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time. Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, one of the finest, and your father was the keeper before Marithari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another clan, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped. Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned. She just couldn't carry on without your father. The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness. Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift, something of your father's for you to have once you were older. Perhaps the time has come. I was waiting for the right time, until you were grown. But you are grown now, aren't you? Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapan. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. Enough to pique my interest, and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlin or something valuable will be worth it. Less than I'd like to. I know some of our old magic, as the Keeper does, and I'll know about these relics if I see them. The Keeper isn't sending me to collect anything, however. We're worried about Tamlin. What about Fenrirel? You didn't think I'd notice him?
We asked. The Keeper has given her leave.
Then let us make haste while daylight lasts. What were those things? Were those Darkspawn? I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before? What would Darkspawn have to do with our people? The stories say our Lathan fell long before the Darkspawn appeared. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
You do look quite pale, now that Meryl's mentioned it.
Well, I'll keep an eye on you. You've only just recovered from your illness. But let's not think of that now. We should move on. I wonder whose camp this is. Do you remember it being here? The Grey Warden said he was returning to the cave. Perhaps this is his camp. If so, he's not here now. And we've seen no sign of Tamlin. Maybe we should... Wait. Do you hear that? Exactly. The forest is too... still. Something's in the air. Something unnatural. And now it's affecting the forest? Maybe that mirror unleashed some kind of sickness. That would not be good.
That's an understatement.
The sooner we find this cave and Tamlin, the sooner we can leave. Take us there quickly. So these are the ruins. Interesting. They're definitely of human origin, yet elven artifacts are scattered amongst them. Nothing explains the monsters, though. But we must find Tamlin, or what's left of him. I can't imagine he's still alive with those creatures about. You're right. We should explore farther before I go on about my fears. I'm sorry.
So you were the one fighting Darkspawn. I thought I heard combat. You're the elf I found wandering the forest, aren't you? I'm surprised you have recovered.
Even if you didn't owe this human your life, a Grey Warden deserves respect.
She owes me nothing. It was my duty to return an injured Dalish to your clan. Your people have always been allies with the Grey Wardens. Then I should be thankful we're having this discussion. My name is Duncan, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you. The last time we spoke, you were barely conscious.
And Darana Tishan, Duncan of the Grey Wardens. I am Meryl, the Keeper's apprentice.
And I am Fenarel. Did you come here alone, human? Battling all those creatures?
Yes, though I must admit you took a great deal of pressure off me. Your Keeper did not send you after me, did she? I told her I would be in no danger. It's a good thing I don't return that feeling, wouldn't you say? So, you and your friend Tamlin both entered this cave, and you saw this mirror. No, nor do I think I will. The Grey Wardens have seen artifacts like this mirror before. It is Tevinter in origin, used for communication. Over time, some of them simply break. They become filled with the same taint as the Darkspawn. Tamlin's touch must have released it. It's what made you sick. And Tamlin too, I presume. You have it still, and it will infect others so long as this mirror exists. Your recovery is only temporary. I can sense the sickness in you, and it is spreading. Look inside yourself, and you will see. Confirm it with your Keeper later if you like. For now, we must deal with the mirror. It is a danger. It is done. Now let's leave this cursed place. I must speak with the Keeper immediately regarding your cure. There is nothing we can do. Let me be very clear. There is nothing you can do for him. He's been tainted for 3 days now, unaided. Through your Keeper's healing arts and your own willpower, you did not die, but Tamlin has no chance. Trust me when I say that he is gone. Now we should return. With the mirror destroyed, I doubt the Darkspawn will return.
Can we return later and search through the ruins? We could learn from many things here besides the mirror.
The cave is not safe. Everything here was exposed to the mirror's taint. If your people must come here, they should cleanse it with fire. If you prefer, I can wait outside while you look around, but I assure you he will not be here. I suggest, however, leaving sooner rather than later. You are sick whether you feel it or not, and it does you no good to linger. As you wish. I will see you back at camp.
I'm relieved you have returned, and I did not expect to see you again so soon, Duncan.
I was not expecting to return so soon either, Keeper.
Dare I ask of Tamlin? What did you find of him? I see. Meryl, what about the mirror? Did you bring anything back?
I can answer that, Keeper. I destroyed the mirror.
I intended to use it to find a cure for this mysterious illness. I trust you had good reasons for your actions.
There is much to discuss, Keeper. I have learned a great deal since I was last here.
Let us speak privately within my Aravel, then, Duncan. Meryl, warn the hunters. If Darkspawn are about, I want the clan prepared.
Manuvinen, Keeper. Right away.
Darlene, allow me some time to speak with Duncan. Seek us out at my Aravel later, and we can discuss your cure.
Because I must talk to your Keeper first. It will not take long.
Tell Haren Pyvel what has occurred. He now has the sad task of preparing a service for the dead. Follow me, Duncan. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
I see you have not returned with young Tamlin. Are we to assume the worst? A sad day for our clan. I know you and Tamlin were very close, Dalin. This must be difficult indeed. May the Creators guide your path.
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here. I hope you find him soon.
Paul's a flat ear. He arrived here a few days ago from the human lands.
I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure you'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right? Ha! That's funny. It is funny, right? You don't actually do that. It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday. You've never been to a city? Surely you've at least visited a town.
We occasionally trade with the Shemlin in small villages, but only a few in the clan can undertake that task.
I can't imagine never having seen a city. It's crowded, with buildings all squeezed together. There are people everywhere, and it always stinks. Only if they're servants. Most of us live in a part of the city called an alienage, separated from the humans by walls. That's where all the poorest folk live. Laborers, dockhands, and thieves. And that's if you're lucky. We don't think about it like that. To most folks, that's just how it is. Andraste's mercy, no. No one is allowed to walk around with any weapon. Fighting just gets you arrested. And I've never had to leave the city before. Much less learn how to hunt. Well, back in the city we hear the same about you. Stories about Dalish bandits attacking people for no reason.
We would never resort to banditry.
I'm just saying that's what we hear. And it's elves who say these things too, not humans. Even if they did, I honestly don't think most of them would want to leave. Wandering and hunting doesn't sound like much of a life.
At least they would live as free men, and as equals.
Maybe. But to most elves I know, the only difference between them and humans is how much coin they have. Coin is the great equalizer, not living free. I got into trouble for stealing. I'm not a thief. We just never really had a choice. Mother was a maid, and I was lucky if I could get work at the docks. You make a living however you can, right? When Mother died, I got drunk and was caught picking a guard's pocket. They were going to hang me, but I escaped and, well, here I am. I'll do my best to adjust and fit in. I never dreamed you'd be so welcoming. I thought at best you might hide me for a bit. I'm glad I was wrong. Of course. I hope to see you again.
Oh, thank the creators you're safe. I questioned the Keeper's wisdom at sending you off while you're still sick, but my doubts were misplaced. Tamlin isn't with you. Is it as everyone fears? Oh, poor dear. This is horrible news. Please take care of yourself and get better. We can't bear to lose anyone else. That's good. I thought the shaman's arrival was a bad omen, but perhaps I was wrong. I will see you soon, my dear. You make me very proud.
I wish we'd had more time to examine those artifacts. Perhaps another time if the Keeper thinks it's wise.
You bring sad news. The Hala can sense it. They are restless and paw at the ground.
As you wish.
I wish we could have found Tamlin. If those creatures... Oh, I can't bear to think about that. Why do you think the Grey Warden won't tell you about this cure? It seems rather cruel to withhold it. Keeper Marathari won't let him withhold it. I say we get your cure, move the clan north, and put this all behind us.
I know Tamlin was your friend. We feel your loss.
So you return with the Grey Warden, but without Tamlin. What happened, Dalen? Is he truly lost to us? You've done nothing of the sort, Dalen. Do not blame yourself. It seems the will of the creators that I sing the dirge for those I held in my arms as babes. I think I know why our immortal ancestors would sleep. Swiftly do stars burn a path across the sky. hastening to place one last kiss upon your eye. Tenderly land enfolds you in slumber, softening the rolling thunder. Dagger now sheathed, bow no longer tense. During this, your last hour, only silence. Our ancestors did not age as we do. The Shemlen brought a quickening to our blood that changed us forever. Instead of death, those weary of life would pass into Uthanera, the waking slumber. In doing this, they made way for the young. It was supposed to be a beautiful time, a celebration of the Elder's long life and contribution to his people. Alas, we have no such ceremonies these days. Of course. We've no body to return to the soil, but we shall still sing for Tamlin. The creators must come to guide him to the beyond. Tell the Keeper, it shall be done before the clan is ready to move on. I ask only one thing, if I may. This Grey Warden. You have met him now, yes? Is he a good man? Interesting. What is it he talks to the Keeper about, I wonder? Perhaps you should go and ask. Only that they eat living flesh, and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. I've never heard of such a thing. But, in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlen, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost. You certainly don't need to ask an old storyteller twice. Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish. Would you care to begin, Dalen? Yes, slaves to a terrible empire, the humans built on the darkest magic. When it fell, we became free. We built a homeland in the Dales, worshipping the creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery. They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants. And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands. To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart, until the day the Elvenan have a homeland once more. All right, that's quite enough out of you. We shall then return the old ways to those of our people who have lost them. We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path. The Oath of the Dales, and no smart-mouthed comment. Thank the creators for small mercies. I will let you get on with your business now. Now that's something I rarely hear. Of course. Ah, yes. The Lost City. Before the Shemlen enslaved us, even before they came to this part of the world, our people lived in glorious Arlathan. Legends say that our ancestors were immortal, and we possessed magic the Shemlen could only dream of. When the humans enslaved us, they took away our language, our history, and our immortality. We quickened to the pace of life and retained nothing of ourselves. We were slaves for so long that even when we became free, there was little for us to recover. If books still exist, I do not know of them. Perhaps they have no choice. Dalish clans are scattered to the winds and rarely gather, which makes us difficult for any organized effort to destroy. And why bother? We have nothing they want. No land, no treasure, and we always move on, allowing no one to grow too angry with us. Some might see this as cowardly, but we are proud. We are the last, and we will survive. They remain in human cities, forgetting all they once had. We call them Flat Ears, for they differ little from their Shemlen masters. A few may return, but we must accept that they know nothing of the lore, or why we keep it. We can hope to find a new home one day, where the Dalish and the Flat Ears will build a land greater even than Arlathan. We shall teach the Flat Ears the lore they lost, and perhaps they will teach us to understand the Shemlen at last. That is the only way we shall truly live in peace. Then I'm sure you have much to do, unless you've other questions. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Your keeper and I have spoken, and we've come to an arrangement that concerns you. My order is in need of help. You are in need of a cure. When I leave, I hope you will join me. You would make an excellent Grey Warden.
And we would not send you away, but there is more at stake.
The darkspawn taint courses through your veins. That you recovered at all is remarkable. But eventually the taint will sicken and kill you, or worse. The Grey Wardens can prevent that, but it means joining us. The cure is only found by joining the Grey Wardens. As sole protectors against the Darkspawn, we're granted some immunity to the taint. But this is not charity. We enlist only the worthy, and you have certainly proven yourself. Should you join, it's unlikely you'll ever be able to return here.
A great army of Darkspawn gathers in the south. A new blight threatens the land. We cannot outrun this storm. Long ago, the Dalish agreed to aid the Grey Wardens against a blight should that day arrive. We must honor that agreement. It breaks my heart to send you away, as it would to watch you die slowly from this sickness. This is your duty, and your salvation.
A home that Darkspawn may tear apart. This way you can find a cure and protect your clan. Have courage.
I cannot express my sadness at sending one of our daughters off into such danger. Away from the clan that loves her. But if this is what the Creators intend for you, Dalen, meet your destiny with your head held high. No matter where you go, you are Dalish. Never forget that.
I welcome you to the Order. It is rare to have a Dalish amongst us, but they have always served with distinction.
I know you'll do your clan proud, Dalen. Take this ring. It is your heritage, and will protect you against the darkness to come.
A valuable gift. So, are you ready to go? We have much ground to cover, but I cannot deny you that. Say your farewells. Then we must be off.
Come then, Dalen. Before the Creators guide you from us, let your clan embrace you one last time.